Okay, here we are, cycling series 2. Today we're going to focus in on the core, the really important part, as well as the legs and lower body, which we focused in this first session. So today, thinking about our abdominals, our obliques, and our lats. So really those kind of key muscles to keep our body upright and to keep our neck focused, that stabilise the pelvis really when things get tough, to also just make your cycling efficient. So as you've got that pedalling stroke, it's nice and efficient through the upper body. So we're going to start feet hip width apart, lifting through the arch of the feet, not collapsing inwards. As soon as you lose that alignment. And we're going to sink back into a squat, sitting back and rising, pushing the hips forwards, sending the hips back, coming up from the side, send the hips back. Weight should be in the heels, you should be able to wiggle the toes. Keeping upper body nice and still, chest up, hips back. And then on the next one, I want you to stay at the bottom, and you're going to add some knee lifts. So you're going to float one knee up, place it down, lift the other knee up, place it down. All the while keeping the hips still. We're going to keep the arms lifted because that's more of a cycling position, but it also really exposes the core, making it work to keep the arms up whilst we're working the legs. And you're going to add in the use of the breath. The breath's not just for effect, it does actually have some very important value. With that exhale breath, those deeper muscles are tightening. So the exhale is really important because you've got that core working without you even realising. This time, focusing just on the right leg, you're going to lift and lower. Pumping the leg, keeping the pelvis still, keeping that arch lifted, arms out. Building the tension in that single leg squat that you're holding. And you should notice the core is working quite hard as well. Okay, let's swap to the left side, lift, lower, plant the heel. Good, keep breathing. So even if you don't breathe in the right sequence, whenever you do Pilates, it's really important that you keep breathing just naturally. You don't hold your breath, you're not suddenly going redder and redder, okay? And then plant the leg. Okay, give the legs a little shake off, and then we're going to position the feet out nice and wide. Feet angled outwards, mobilising it a bit more into the groin area, a bit more into the glutes. Tucking the tailbone under. I'm going to slowly sink down to a nice plie wide squat. Now, if you're finding your knees are here, you haven't got the flexibility there, that's okay. Just angle the feet slightly further forwards as well. Knees want to always be tracking out over the toes. Coming down, again, upper body stays nice and upright. You're nice and controlled here. You don't neglect upper body, we don't want to be here. Imagine you're gliding down a wall. You've got a wall behind you, sinking down and rising. Good, it's also a lovely one to feel that stretch, which you'll be feeling working on the insides of the legs. On your next one, I want you to hold. Staying here, working into the legs. Going to peel one heel off, place it down, other heel off, place it down. Side to side, beginning to feel those quads working. And then this time, both together, you lift and lower. If that feels too much, go back to single legs, lift and lower. And then I want to lift, hold, sink a little deeper, feel that burn. Breathing, think about the upper body. Although the legs are hurting, upper body's nice and still, nice and upright. You can balance tread drinks on your head. Legs might be shaking, that's okay. All right, and lower. Oh, Those legs a little shake off. Staying in this wide leg stance, coming back down, I want you to bring the arms out in front. So you can hold that squat position or you can release. It's up to you. Obviously holding the squat position is going to develop the legs. Working into the upper body, you're going to open and close. Open and close. Are we feeling those legs yet? One more each side. Staying here, reach the arms up and you're going to reach over to one side. It's a bit of a tough position for the core to hold. It's really working here as well as getting your legs working. Reaching the arms away. Imagine you're stuck between two panes of glass, so everything is nice and level. You're not leaning forwards, you're not leaning back. Back to the centre, to the other side. One more time to each side. Reach away. If that's too much, you could always relax that arm down. Makes it a whole lot easier. One more time. And release. Relax the arms, give the legs a little shake off. Turn the feet to face forwards. Reach the arms up. This time we're going to fold down all the way to the floor into a nice hamstring stretch. So holding at the bottom, feeling the backs of the legs, stretching. Relax the head and neck, give the head a bit of a shake, a bit of a nod. Make sure the head is standing down heavy. And then walking the hands over to one side. We'll go left side first. Keep the head nice and relaxed. And then with the left arm, you're going to reach up behind you. So into a bit of a rotating twist. Holding that hamstring stretch, but we're rotating, giving the core some work to do. And releasing, walk the hands over to the right hand side. Holding, let the head relax. And open up behind you with your right arm. And come back to the centre. From here, bring the hands just above the knees, and again we're going to find that lovely flat back position. You can soften the knees if you want to, but I want you to lengthen through the spine. And releasing, dropping down, shuffle the feet together. And then I want you to slowly roll up. Nice and gently, head dangles down, coming up to the top. Good. Alright, so we're going to do a few roll downs. So a bit like if you watched in the first series, we did a couple of these. Really nice to do also against a wall, if you ever feel inclined. Keeping the back nice and straight to start with, but then you're going to peel down as if you're peeling yourself off against a wall. Head dangles down, curving down, creating as much movement through the spine as you can. Think of it being like a bike chain, nice and mobile, rather than a steel rod, okay? And then from the bottom, you're coming back up, building each vertebrae, almost chink by chink, coming back up. And we go one more time. Chin to chest, coming down. And then soften the knees, bring yourself down into the sitting position. So from here, back lovely and tall, thinking about our nice posture. Roll the shoulders back and down, just holding onto the fronts of the knees to start with. And from here, a bit like you just did in the roll back, mobilising the flexibility of the spine. You're going to rock back onto your pelvis, practicing some of those pelvic tilts, and you're going to sit up. Rocking back, sitting up, right on the edges of those sitting bones, tilt back, sit up tall. And then we're going to gradually go a little bit further, so rocking back, and using the front of the knees to help you come back up to start with. Taking it easy, mobilising the spine. On your next one, we're going to let go of the legs, arms out in front, so we're forced to use more of our core. We're going to round the back, making a C shape. As you come up, you're going to lead with the chest, keeping the chin always over the chest, keeping a little peach or something there underneath. Rolling back, coming back up. On your next one, we're going to come back, we're going to hold, bring the hands together, you can interlock the fingers and you gently twist side to side. Into a couple of Russian twists. Making sure you look either side, so really firing up the obliques. Pressing to either side, it's not just the arms that are doing the work. Make sure you look and you turn the head. And then coming back to the centre, keep the arms out. You're going to begin to lift one leg, place it down, lift the other leg, place it down. So again, having that nice reciprocal leg movement, and then we're going to go a little bit faster. So if you want to, that's simultaneous movement, so they're both moving at the same time. It's tough, if it's too much, you can go back to stepping. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. And then gently lower down. Coming up, hold onto the backs of the legs, lengthen through the spine. Coming down onto your back, nice and gently. Arms relaxed alongside your body to start with. And I just want you to begin with the starting movement, our scissors exercise, which really mimics, again, that cycling movement really well. We're going to start at the lower level. You're going to just lift one leg, place it down. All the while, imagine you've got a tray resting across your pelvis here, keeping nice and still. There shouldn't be too much rocking. You can place your hands there if you want to. Using the breath, so we're going to exhale as we lift, inhale, lower. So really important while you are cycling, particularly those hard climbs, keep your breath regular. Almost over-exaggerate your breath, because that will really help you get that core activation. If you've got your hands there, as you exhale, you might be able to feel a bit of work going on deeper underneath the surface of the skin, that tightening. Which is helping support and keep the pelvis nice and still. Okay, we're going to level it up. So we're going to take one leg up to tabletop. This is the harder bit. Engaging those core muscles as you lift the second leg up, so you don't begin to dome through the abdominals and you don't begin to arch. You don't lose that control in spine. You're not pressing your back into the floor. You're not letting it arch either. That in-between neutral position. So from here, knees should be directly above the pelvis. And I want you to lift the arms this time, okay? If you find it too much, you can always bring them back down. So there's a bit of a step up to the last one. You're going to lower one leg this time and lift. A bit like we did before, working from this harder level. Exhale, inhale. Feeling those abdominals working. Again, try not to let them dome. One more each side, and then just get the knees up in. Have a little breather. Okay, very similar. I want you to start with the arms on the floor and then we'll build up to bring the arms off. Bring the knees back to that hip alignment over the hips. Flexing the feet, or keep the feet flat. And you want to begin to cycle with one leg, stretching it away. So if you're pedaling with the leg, exhale. Inhale, pushing the leg away. 45 degrees is what we're aiming for. watching and monitoring that abdominal tone, making sure the abdominals aren't doming. Try and relax through the shoulders. When things get hard in different areas of our bodies, we tend to tense up in our shoulders, which is the natural place of where the tension goes. Try not to be gripping with the floor. If you want to, bring the arms above the head. And if you want to work harder still, float the head off the floor, keeping that peach under the chin, so you've got that neck strength that you're building. You can even watch the legs. Let's do 2 more each side. 1, 2. And give the knees a hug in. Give the knees a little rock side to side. And then set the feet down to the floor. Relax the arms. So come into our shoulder bridge, focusing on working the glutes, but still working through those core muscles. And you're going to imagine again like your spine is that chain, and you're going to gently peel it off, each segment by segment, slowly coming up, squeezing your bottom nice and tight, slowly laying that chain, each segment by segment back down. So just doing that a couple of times. A lovely one to loosen off the spine. And then this time, as you come to the top, I want you to hold. So again, think about keeping the pelvis nice and level, but we're going to develop our strength and awareness around the pelvis. Because often when you're cycling and the pelvis is rocking, sometimes you're so unaware that you're even doing it. So from here, I want you to imagine someone's pressing down on your pelvis one side and then down on the other side. So you're just beginning to rock the pelvis. Knees stay still, upper body stays still. It's just the pelvis that is rocking. And then to work harder, lifting the arms, isolating all around here, all down the sides. Gaining that awareness. And then slowly lower back down. Give the knees a little hug in and just release for a moment. Rock the knees, circle the knees. Bring the feet back down. So this time, with that in mind, with that awareness that you've just gained with the pelvis rocking and tilting, we're going to add in some knee lifts. So slowly peeling yourself back up. Keep the arms down just for a moment. This is the exercise. You're just going to begin to lift and lower. Lift and lower. We're going to add on a little bit in a moment, but just watching that this pelvis isn't doing anything it shouldn't be doing. Staying nice and still. Again, your post-ride beverage of choice is resting on there. You're staying nice and still. If you want to, lift the arms. And then to work a little bit harder, we're going to keep the leg up. You're going to push away as if you're cycling with the leg. We're going to do 5 on this side. And then swapping. 5 on the other side. Keep lifted, try not to begin to sink, keep squeezing the glutes. And slowly lower that down. Give the knees a hug in, rock the knees, or circle the knees. And just before we move on to our last few harder abdominal ones, having a bit of a glute stretch, cross one leg over the knee in front. That might be enough for you if you feel it around the hips, around the glutes, or grab the leg on the floor, pull it in towards you. swap over, other side. And release. So lifting the feet. Remember, if this feels too much for you, or you've got any lower back problems, you can do quite a lot of these same exercises with the feet planted to the floor, okay? Sort of these sort of movements instead of these, okay? So, from here, I want you to bring the hands behind the head. We're going to finish with some lovely crunches, and then I'll crisscross, just to finish you off at the end. You're going to peel up, again, keeping an eye on that abdominal tone. Abdominal should be bulging up. Everything should stay nice and level, and lower. Exhale. Elbows should just be in your periphery. If you want to work harder, reaching one leg away, hold it there. Coming up and down. Let's do 5. If it feels too much, just keep the knees together, okay? Other side. And resting off. And releasing. I've definitely got a bit of abdominal shake going on there. It's the first time I've done any of these in a while. I had a baby about 3 months ago. So it's some of the first few times I'm doing some of these harder abdominal ones, but they're good. They're really good. All right, so our last kind of hard one. Very similar, we're going to add in a bit of rotation, working a bit of everything, working upper abdominals, lower abdominals, and lats and obliques. So whenever you're working just the legs, you're targeting more lower abdominals. Just then, when we were working upper body, you're working upper abdominals, and then whenever you've got twisting involved, you're working obliques and lats. So last one's going to be everything. So I'll crisscross, knees out, hands behind the head. We're going to rotate elbow to knee, this one, that's cycling legs. And we're going to begin to go a little bit faster, but do not forget the pelvis. Keep it nice and still. You see a lot of people losing control. Everything really nice and still and controlled. These ones are the killer ones. Let's go 5 more each side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give the knees a hug in. Rock the knees side to side. Well done, you're nearly done. Stretch out nice and long. Reach your arms out, reach your legs out. And then just bring the arms out to the side, out wide into a bit of a crucifix position. Grab hold of the opposite knee with the opposite hand and gently just pull the knee across. And that lovely spine stretch all the way down. Keep the head turned, looking in the opposite direction. Other side. And then this time just come over onto one side. Rest your head on the arm, or you can prop your head up. Come into a side lying quad stretch. Pulling the leg back, you don't have to worry about balancing here. And then rolling over, doing the same on the other side. And slowly coming up and sitting. Place one hand down, reaching over, lengthening all the way down one side of the body. And to the other side. coming back to the centre, releasing off the shoulders. Again, we're just going to take a nice few breaths in and out, just relax us. Breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale. Nice calming breaths. Again, breath in. Exhale. One more time, breath in. And exhale. And you can relax. All the hard work's done. Well done. So remember, the power of the breath, everything upwards above the pelvis is almost just as important as everything below when you're doing cycling. So well done. Hope your core has had a bit of a good workout. Remember to really keep an eye on that pelvis when you're cycling, when the going gets tough. Well done. Join me again soon for some more cycling Pilates, or check out some of my videos. There's a good stretch one or massageable one if you feel like you need your own sort of sports massage, DIY sports massage. Well done.